Happy Tuesday, Happy and Fit. You are 6 years old. Isn't that just like so crazy? What are your thoughts on it?
That it's gone by in a blink.
In a blink, you might as well do something. Yeah.
Yeah, just am so grateful for you guys and y'all, and just I know I say y'all more now.
We decided like Elevation Church calls their internet family the E-fam, and we're calling Happy and Fit our E-fam because it's just like you guys are family. All day today, we just felt so blessed with all your texts, the flowers from the crew who spoke over the weekend, and just the DMs and the tags and just the support and the love. Like, it has just been a journey, and no one can get in the way of your dream. Like, if you just dream it and you take the action, they might come around, they may not, but like, time is going to pass. You might as well do something, right? And I just can't help but think like we're making such an impact. All of us are so much better together. And I am just so proud. Eric is so proud. It has been 6 years and it has gone by in a blink. There have been hard times, a lot of missed goals, a lot of goals we've hit, a lot of patience, doubt, fear, risks, a lot of unknowns, uncertainty, people questioning integrity, people quitting. Just don't take advice from the quitter. Just take advice from the person who's paved the way. And like, I am just so excited for all the momentum of the team. And I just believe that Happy and Fit is a space for everybody. It's a space for everybody who just wants to feel better and live out health, live out wellness, live out confidence, work on self-care. And it's also a space for people who want more choices financially, more choices with time, and more choices with friendship and freedom and whatever that looks like in your life. And so I think we're just beginning. Like, we have just begun, and I'm very excited. It's never too late, and success is not above you. No one owns this space. We should just be proof that anybody can. And anyway, just so proud. And we are 14 coaches away from 10 star. So I just wanted to share that. I'm very, very excited. And you guys, I mapped it out. We're 46 coaches away from 15 star. We would be the third ever team in Team Rockstar Fit to ever hit 15 star. I really do believe we can do it with the momentum that's happening. It's going to take a lot of trust and a lot of consistency and a lot of belief, because you'll feel like you're there and then you take 10 steps back, but I'm willing to press in anyway. But we're 46 coaches away. If you really think about it, that's not that many. That is not that many at all. So anyway, 10 star 14 coaches, 15 star 46 coaches. It makes me want to puke. It's fine. I wanted to give Kim to go ahead and do the shout out and introduction, and then Kara, we can go ahead and get started with your crew.
5 minutes before I walked upstairs, I had this thought, Julianne's going to make me do the introduction. Like, oh, I got to get my shit together. Anywho, Kara has been with me since the very beginning. And I'm just so honored and so grateful that she decided to run with me and go places and believe in this. We drove in it's like 8.5 hour suburban ride in the Mullen Block Suburban all the way down to Nashville together, really unsure of what we were going to do, when we got there, what it was going to be like, all the things. But we got there and it got to experience together the community and the support and like the vibe of like who Julianne was, like this tall chick that was from, at the time, Wisconsin, was in Wisconsin, and we didn't really know each other at all. Got to meet everybody. And like there's this bond happened when we were at Summit, and we came home on fire, and every single year we take more and more people back and the group just continues to grow and the fire just keeps continuing to flame. And it's just so awesome to watch her even exceed now and go farther with her own crew. And I'm just so proud, just unbelievably proud of her vision and her grit and her just leadership in general, how she just wears her heart on her sleeve. And then all of the women that she brings on do the same. Like, Fit and Fearless, you are literally fit and fearless, humble women made for more, going for bigger things in life unapologetically. And I absolutely love you for it. And it's been so much fun to watch you all grow. Take it away, ladies.
I was just saying, we so hungry. Okay, so first of all, time out. I think all of you brought beverages, right? So we're gonna do a toast right now, and then we're gonna do a boomerang at the end of this. So somebody please don't let me forget. But raise your glass, because I feel so freaking honored that we get to talk about our journey to 4-star, but really it's about Julianne's 6-year coach anniversary today. Raise your glass if you're happier and fitter on this team, right? All right, so cheers to that. I have my hydrate because Kristen and I are doing a 5-day clean eating because we need to get back on track. So, so this was totally from Steph. If you guys were not at the virtual retreat on Saturday, you need to go back and at least watch the end of it, because she played that so well. And so she gave me this idea, so I can't take credit for it. So for those of you who don't know me or Fit and Fearless, the same speakers that are talking tonight are the same incredible leaders that you got to hear from Saturday. And so our intros might be a little bit shortened because, I mean, a lot of people were on Saturday. So kind of how this is going to go is we're just going to tell you about our introduction and what I thought would be super helpful when I was thinking about the broad spectrum of Happy and Fit. I thought, why not let's talk about 1 to 2 obstacles that we have overcome and how we've overcome it. And then let's talk about a strength that we bring to the team, because as you will notice, Fit and Fearless is so well-rounded in our leaders. And so that's one thing I'm so incredibly excited for, is not only are they incredible women and they're friends of mine, but they also all bring different strengths to the table, in which has helped us get to 4-star and beyond. So a little bit about me. My name is Kara Hintz. I live in Cedar Falls, Iowa with my husband, Brian. We've been married 10 years. We have 2 boys, 5 and 2, Carter and Beckett. I am a full-time branch manager at a local credit union. I've worked there for 15 years. I started being a client of Kim's with the 21-Day Fix DVD. No Success Club points for Kim. Sorry about that. I'm going to continuously apologize for that every single time I say that. So was 5 months postpartum with Carter. Breastfeeding did not do it for me. I was still 30 pounds overweight, sluggish. I had just received a promotion, and I should have been excited. Somebody just gave me an incredible raise, and I did not feel like I was worth it. I did not feel valued because it was all internal, right? Like I had to change something inside of me. I've always been active, retired collegiate volleyball player, volleyball coach, and the busyness of my first pregnancy took my activity out of it. So insert 21-Day Fix DVD, got some results, tried PIO, got some results. Then I kept seeing the Shakeology thing come up, and I'm like, I'm just stuck. I'm on a plateau. So insert Shakeology and the team discount, which I fully believe that it wasn't going to work. I was just going to be a skeptic and say I told you so and return it within the 30 days at a bottom of the bag guarantee. Joke's on me. Almost 5 years later, I'm still here. And I am busting down obstacles and objectives with the price of Shakeology to this day. And I tell you what, I am so more relatable from having that kind of story and talking to people and saying, hey, here's where I got started. And they cannot believe it. Okay. So I've been working full-time this entire time. I like to think of myself going from manager to mentor mode. That's been a huge game changer for me because I get to do these with everybody, right? I'm constantly in the trenches with my team. It's not Kara sitting in her pretty little throne and the busy bees are working, right? Like it's not that mindset. Like everybody wants to produce and be on the same level. And if you're a self-care coach on Team Fit and Fearless, that's amazing. Like we welcome that. We are a fun tribe. Just ask people that have come to our live events, which we'll get to in a little bit. But anyway, so where are we going? I don't know where, like, I don't know specifically where we're going, but like none of us are stopping anytime soon. And I want to give a special shout out to Amy Thurm, who just busted down diamond yesterday. And Amber Kraus, she is like a detail away. Like, we just have to insert volume for her inactive coach, and she will be diamond very, very soon. So very, very excited for the growth that's happening on Team Fit and Fearless. But I want to kind of rewind a little bit, and I want to let you know, like, how did I get here, right? Because so many of us have had mountains to climb, have had to pull ourselves out through the valleys, and have had missed goals, have had people that have disappointed us. I like to say people surprise us either way, because that's kind of how it goes. But maybe you can relate to this and drop it in the comments if you have. So how we've gotten to 4-star, okay? Through the ups, all right? So we've hit weight loss goals. We've become more confident in our pregnancy or postpartum journey. We've had a stronger mindset to combat COVID. I said 3 upgrades for my work, but upgrades at work. We've had a stronger mindset to become an essential employee. So props to our healthcare workers, props to the stay-at-home moms that are teaching at home. We've completed the ultimate reset. We've had the biggest impact checks to date. Seeing other people succeed. We've had the joy at the live events. We've seen people afford the lifestyle they deserve. Okay, so those are the things that through the ups to 4-star, that's what we've encountered. Through the valleys, coach cancellations, ghosting, clients and coaches and friends. We've been unfollowed. We've had talks with our HR. We've had talks with our bosses. We've been treated differently in person. We've had friends that have said that they're too busy to hang out with us anymore. We've had snide remarks from family members. We've had the lack of belief either in ourselves or the lack of belief portrayed to us by others closest to us. We've had the goals that aren't met. We've had the people that disappoint us. We've had hardships in marriages. We've had people pushing away the difficult conversations to navigate. And we've had people portray their different perception of success and money on us, and we've had family health issues. So that is a very short list, and I'm gonna look at the comments later, but you probably can at least attribute or relate to a few of them, right? So how did we get here, right? I cared about feeling better, I cared about people, and I cared about progress. Those were the only things. It started about me feeling better about myself. It started about was just me wanting to be worthy of my branch manager title. I cared about people from the get-go. Kim can attest to this. She asked me to do the very first challenge post. I probably spent 45 minutes on that thing. And it was like long. And I will never forget the feeling of people commenting and liking. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. And that's all it took. That was May 2016. All right. So, and I cared about progress, right? Like I'm not somebody who wants to sit still. Like I love to work. I don't love downtime that much, but I can be persuaded with my team for sure, because we have to do a little bit of both. All right. So 2 obstacles I've overcome. All right. So out of this list, I just want to talk about 2 really quickly. Belief in myself. My very first summit, I will never forget. I was sitting in the front seat of the Suburban, and I think Lindsay was driving, and Lauren was behind me, and Kim was in the back seat, and Tiff was in the way back seat. And Lauren says, Kara, what do you want to do with this business? And I said, I'm pretty sure I want to quit my job. I don't know where those words came out, but like after I said that, I was like, oh shit, like I just said that out loud. So my eyes were open at the first time at our first summit. But then I retracted because I didn't have the social media following. I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the knowledge or the resourcefulness at the time. I had no close friends or family that wanted to join me. And my husband thought it was the newest thing that I wanted to do. So how did I handle it? How did I get over it? Personal development, yo. Compound effect changed my life. When I talk about inches matter, the inches build up. Today, I went a mile back. Like, I was frazzled. I was like, how am I going to speak on this call tonight? Because I seriously wanted to lock my kids in their room because they were so naughty. That's real mom talk. So I dove into personal development. When books weren't my thing, I dove into podcasts. I surrounded myself with people who were where I wanted to be, and insert my first Success Club trip. That's where I met Julianne and Morgan and Sarah Morrison and all of these people. And I got to meet like a lot of the husbands too. And I could just see myself there. So at that point in time, I gave myself permission to not take anybody else's advice if I didn't want to trade lives with them. Instead of saying good for her, I asked, why not me? And to this day, that's some of my passwords. Because it's like an affirmation to me. It's why not me? Why not me? Why not me? And then I became resourceful in not only asking the best what they were doing, but also finding out what works myself. Because just if it works for another coach doesn't mean it's going to necessarily work for me and my tribe, right? Hurdle number 2, I don't have enough time to grow this business while working full-time and 2 kids. I think I thought this, like I knew inches mattered at this point, but I didn't know how to get to my big goal, right? My puke goal. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up sectioning it off, right? In order to be a 10-star coach, or in order to have financial freedom and have more options, you have to become an emerald, right? You have to become a diamond, all right? Doesn't mean you do it in 2 weeks. Emerald can be done in that point, So how I handled it, I had to really focus on what I was spending time on that wasn't serving me. So less TV time, less scrolling. I was such a guru at like just sitting there and trying to plan my next house project with Pinterest. I would spend hours on the weekend trying to like create this vision for my house when I really wasn't ready for it. And I just ended up wasting time. I played a lot of volleyball before kids. And so that slowly tapered off, but I didn't replace it with anything else. I replaced it with helping people. And then the biggest transformation, and for those of you who are on Saturday, you will know that the Sunday scheduling, during the weekend, you prep your meals. Why not prep your next week? Kristen and I, we prep our connection calls on the Sunday. So every morning we are ready to go. And now we're able to communicate to our team and saying, hey, if you really want to talk about, time blocking, social media tips, or the Rachel Hollis Rise X Live, these are the days that you need to be on. So it gives some flexibility, but like we've had 25, I think 25 has been our biggest group, but that's at 5:30 in the morning. So we know we have busy moms, we know our niche, and we know that, 8:30 at night, it doesn't really help a whole lot. We can't guarantee that people are going to be on. Okay. So 5:30 has worked out really, really well. Some people are working out already. Some people are on their drive to work. It's cool. Like we just spend that time in a community, and that makes our live events that much better. On Sunday, I start brain dumping. So everything in my head everything that's in my head, period, goes down on a piece of paper. And then I am prioritizing the top 3 things that I need to get done. I am the person that if I make a list, I want to achieve everything on that list, like in the next 20 minutes. But by brain dumping, it clears my head. It gives me more space to think about other things. And then it's a reminder of, hey, you still got this. You've got to still do this, but then I can physically cross it off. And I don't know who's a list maker here. Do I have list makers? Yeah. How good does it feel when you can visually see like, oh, got that done. So I just created more today, but what brain dumping has done, it's opened up conversations with my husband about this business. Okay. Who I'm helping, what I'm helping them with, celebrating small wins, talking about, Thursday's paycheck, what it looks like, what we're using it for. We talked, like, this has led to us more goal setting and being more strategic with how can we achieve total financial freedom. And it's allowed him to bring in the business. And for those of you who are in 2020 Coach Collab, he wanted to be in it. He wanted to see all of your successes because I talk about you. Even if you're not on Fit and Fearless, I'm like, hey, isn't this cool? Check this out. So props to him because he's had a huge transformation too. As I said, our team is very well-rounded. And so I'm incredibly blessed with the coaches that I have amongst Team Fit and Fearless. The ones that you'll hear from today, Kristen, my success partner, she deserves this recognition every bit as much as me. Steph and Sherry, they were powerhouses. And Steph and Sherry are like this close to one Stark wall. So I'd like to acknowledge them for that as well. Before we get to them, so we're going to hear about their strengths, right? So one of the strengths that I feel like I bring to this team is relationships and connection. So I love live events. I mean, if you don't know this by now, I'm kind of an extroverted extrovert. And this has led to connections levels deep. And Kristen will talk a little bit more about this, about like our humble beginnings and where we started. But I truly believe that it's the connection with the team that started everybody off. Kim's story is just like my story. We started out as self-care and then we leaped into the business. And the same thing is happening for my coaches. So without further ado, I want to introduce Miss Sherry. Are you on? Can't see you. There you are. Take it away.
So I'm Sherry, and I got started in July of 2016. I am a full-time teacher. Sorry about the mess in my background right now. I'm actually moving out of my classroom, and this is my workout office space, and it is not my workout office space anymore. So, but I'm a full-time teacher. I also coach sports, and I'm married to Jacob, my husband. And we're getting ready to make some big life changes soon. So that's kind of on top of my self-care list as well. If you were on Saturday, you heard some of the obstacles that I have overcome. So I'm not going to go into all of them, but one of them most recently, which kind of deals with this back here, is that I was afraid to take a big leap in going not full-time in a career or accepting a job that is not full-time, because I thought that if you didn't work full-time, like it was just a money mindset. Like I thought that there was a stigmatism to it. And so I'm actually not going to be full-time next year. But that's okay because through Kara and some other people, especially my mother-in-law, they've all mentioned that maybe this can do something for Beachbody with me and give me a little bit more time to do that, as well as just because I've been so busy all my life. I've worked 3 jobs through college. I've worked while I'm teaching other jobs. They just said, this could be a good time for you just to kind of take some time and relax for yourself. So how I overcame that obstacle is, obviously I prayed because I'm a huge person of faith, and I talked it through with my hubby, but I also leaned in to one of my coaches, that's one of my PS coaches, Amber, and she was always there just to listen and help me and to motivate me, encourage me. And so, it just, like, regardless of who you are, like this team, all of us, that we just want the best for each other, and we're here to support each other in all walks of life. And so that just, like, it really showed me that. And so I'm so grateful to have some of you guys here. Another one that I will briefly talk about, I'm not going to cry tonight, but is not ever giving up. there's a lot of times that I could have given up in this journey, whether that was coaches quitting, people going inactive. That's also health things with me. I've had some health issues, but I've also been in a car accident that took me out of working out for a year. And through all that time, I did not give up. And so, I know when Kara mentioned us talking about obstacles, it's because we wanted to talk about the things that make us who we are, because this isn't a perfect journey, and you can make it through anything. And so, that's just something I hope to pass on to you guys all tonight is don't ever give up, lean into the team. And I'm sure there's someone like Kara who's going to keep letting you plug into the community, even if you can't do it 100%, because we care more than fitness and nutrition.
I love you.
Oh, my strength.
Yes, go for it.
Okay. My strength, I would say, is just being relatable, but also just being an overcomer. I'm very organized, and so I feel like that's my strength, is I can relate to people very well.
You're such, like, what I love about you is you have such a servant leadership. Like, you just exude that. You just genuinely want the best for people, and that comes out in how you help people and how you message people, and you've really honed in on what that looks like and sounds like. And I'm just so proud that like your confidence has grown so much to like how you're messaging people, because I truly think that we can send out all the sample invites as possible, but you have to take time to tweak that. It takes time. It's gonna, we learned on Saturday, it's going to be different for everybody, and it's going to change in your chapter, right? You're not going to talk to the 24-year-old the same way as you talk to the 26-year-old with 2 kids. It's going to look different. Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments here. Sherry, good job not crying, because you make me cry. All right. Next up, Kristen, are you good? You want Steph to go first?
I can go. If you hear screaming in the background, I'm okay. As long as there's no broken bones, we're good. All right, single mom, let's go. So I'm Kristen. I am a mom of 3 littles. My oldest just turned 7, and then I have a 4 and I have a 2-year-old. I started my coaching journey when I was 5 weeks postpartum with my second. Lauren loves to laugh about the fact that I actually finally allowed her to send me the information while I was in labor with my second. So that's how I got started. I went all in. I was sick of being controlled by sugar. My original little crew under Lauren used to call me Cupcake because that's what I was addicted to when I started. So that's where I came from. I went 2 feet in, and I'm here today. Kara and I met. I messaged her, and we always laugh about that, how we kind of like went on our own little blind date and just got to know each other. And neither of us wanted our blind date to end. So that is, Halloween blind date. Yep. So that is how we got started with Team Fit and Fearless. We grew from there. We started with 4:30 a.m. power hours between the 2 of us. And when she was coming back from Philly, she texted me because she had gotten that idea from Philly about including our team at 5:30. And I said, heck yes, let's go all in. And so that's how we started really, really growing our team connection, is with our 5:30 a.m. team calls. And like Kara mentioned, our team calls they've just been incredible. There's some days that we just talk about our wins from the week. There are some days that we talk PD. I love the fact that it challenges me to constantly be in PD, because I'm usually sharing PD 2 to 3 times a week on those connection calls. But also, I am a firm believer in the fact that you learn something, you share something, you know it better, you grow better, and you grow better with others. So that has been incredible for our team because we're constantly growing together. We're constantly challenging ourselves together. We're constantly working on our mindsets together. And that has helped this team so much. Along with that, we also have success pods. And I think that it's so important to have success pods, not just a rank, but success pods in the sense that you get to name yourself a leader and you get to name yourself successful before anything else says it in that back office. And I think that's vital. And so we've really been working on that is success pods. And then the other thing that we love is our live events. And those have just been such an incredible blessing, whether it is at a Super Saturday in a school, whether it is going to hot yoga together, whether it is summit, whether it's a diamond retreat, or whether it's just meeting up in somebody's living room. It has been incredible. And that has just not only grown the belief in us as leaders, but also in our team and knowing that they belong here. And when they realize they belong here, it opens up so much more to the realization that other people belong here with them. So that's kind of been my favorite part is just the team connection and how we've been able to grow that. She asked me to share one obstacle I've overcome. I had one of my runner coaches quit on me soon after Summit last year, and she, her and I were in very close connection, and I got a Facebook message right before she deleted Facebook that said she was quitting. So she didn't like call me or text message me like we normally would. She's Facebook messaged me and then quit. And you know what? I continued to pour into the others on our team. And when I say our team, Kara and I are so amazing at just like co-leading our team. And I don't care if you're in my specific downline or not, if there's something I can mentor you with and something that I can help you with, I'm going to be there for you. And so that's the obstacle that I've overcome, and that's how I've overcome it. And it's just been incredible to see our team boom. So with that, I am going to lay it over to Steph.
I don't have any truly today or tonight like I did the other day. But I am Stephanie Moeller, and Kara is my upline coach. I live on the outskirts of Waterloo, Iowa. We live out in the country. I have 2 kiddos, Gentry and Wyatt, and I am a wife to Dan. That pretty much is all about me. But when we're talking obstacles, I would say a couple of weeks ago, I talked with Kim on one of these calls, and one of my obstacles that I shared was not caring what everybody thought, but caring what a select few people thought. And then it turned out only being it was my perception of what they were thinking. So those people weren't actually judging me for doing coaching. It was all just in my head. And so the other obstacle that I wanted to touch base on is getting your spouse on board. And I know that's like a topic a lot of people are interested in. And that is one obstacle that we have overcame together, because in the beginning when I signed up to do this, he was always supportive of my own health and fitness journey. He wants what's best for me, like happy wife, happy life. He's all about that. But then we hit these roadblocks, and like the time commitment. And so he saw me on my phone a lot. I mean, all the typical things that you guys are probably going through. Like he saw me on my phone a lot. I needed to be on a team call, those kind of things. And I would say he started coming around. It probably was like a year and a half, 2 years, when he was like, all right, I'm on board. Let's go. And that's probably about the same amount of time that like he started seeing the benefits from the business, because he's a guy and that's how they think, they think that way. And he started seeing the money come in. And when he started seeing that, he started building more trust and letting me go off and have my own time, like 2 to 3 hours at a coffee shop. And he would be like, hey, I'm going to take the kids Saturday, you go work your business. And then it was kind of just like a cycle. The more he would let me do that, the more benefits he was seeing. And then it became more of like, I would ask and request, like I wasn't afraid to ask for more time, or be like, pan out, show him my week and be like, hey, I'm going to plan on hopping on this team call and this team call. And so it just became making sure that we had like constant communication. And like, he also knew that like, I'm very, very passionate about this. And then I shared like how excited it gets me, and that I get to do this outside of being a teacher and a mom. And he knows it's just my thing. And it's not just my thing now it's our thing, which is really cool. And we also went through this period where there was like a little bit of a jealousy factor, maybe something that happened in a past relationship that he was in. And we got to a point where he knew my target market was women, but he also knew women was not the only people seeing my stuff, like when I posted. So other guys or other men would see what I was posting. And that was like, it sounds like ridiculous, whatever, but that was like a legit thing that we had to get through. And so we sat down and I'm like, okay, like what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. We got to a point where I was like, I'm only going to take a picture in a sports bra if I'm doing a transformation post. And then if I thought one was kind of like, ooh, I don't know if he's going to like this picture. Like, I remember one time I literally walked out of our house and where we live now, and walked out while he was mowing, and he had to stop the mower, get off the mower. And I was like, hey, can I post this picture? And he's like, oh my God. He's like, I don't want to do this. And he goes, it was more of a trust thing. He's like, I am all for you doing this and I'm all on board, like as long as you're mine. And I was just like, what? Like there was never any doubt in my mind, but like having that communication, and that was what was in the back of his head, holding him back, holding me back, if that makes sense. And it's like something happened to him in a past relationship where that was in his mind. Something happened that involved social media. So social media to him was evil. And like, that's something that we had to talk and get through. And so now we're on the same page, and now I'm working out in leopard pants and sports bra, and he's like okay with it. So like we have grown so much together, but that's a sacrifice that I was willing to make. I was willing to be like, okay, I'm going to have certain restrictions on things that I can post about, and images that I'm going to post of myself, because I'm not going to sacrifice my marriage over coaching. So I'm going to make coaching fit into our current situation. And that's what I did. And then we worked our way through it. And now we are where we are today, which is really cool. So that's just another obstacle that I wanted to share with you all, because I know a lot of you might have spouses or significant others that aren't there yet. And honestly, like it takes time, and it takes them seeing the benefits of it. And so if you ask Dan, who paid for his tattoo on his inner arm, on his inner bicep right here, it was from coaching money. So yes, I use some of my money to buy him a tattoo, but that's sometimes you have to treat them a little bit, because like he does, like right now I'm on a team call. He's got the 2 kids downstairs. If I wanted to go work or go to Summit or any live event, he's got the kids. And so, and he's okay with that. And he's a great dad. But I also want him to reap the benefits of this business. And then my strengths, I feel like I'm going to touch base on this a little bit tonight, but I learned how to make really good use of my time. And so I'm going to show a tool that I use in a little bit, but I think I learned that from not having internet at our house for like the first year and a half. I would have to really structure out my time and plan the activities that I actually needed to get on and use the hotspot from my phone for. So I would do all the activities from my phone, and then when I needed to get on and send out emails, I would use my hotspot. And so I think that like forced me to have really good time management. So I think that's one of my strengths. And then also being relatable and approachable, somebody that other people can come to, not just for Beachbody, coming to me of things about life or school or anything like that. So. Are we circling back around, Kara?
I don't think so. Go for it.
Oh, we're just going into content now?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
So, one of the things that somebody had said to me, like an outside person who is not a Beachbody coach, and it's funny because she was going to join me, but she hasn't yet. Yet is a key word. But when she was talking to me about it, she was like, I really like the way that you do this. You make it fit into your lifestyle. She's like, you're very relatable, where a lot of times you see other MLMs or like Beachbody coaches or like business owners, and it's very forced, like they're trying too hard. And she said, I think you do a good job of not forcing it. It just comes like naturally. And so the way I feel like I have narrowed that down would be like identifying the 6 roles that you are, things that are unique to you. And I know this is something that we talked about this past weekend, but in case you weren't on, like for instance, myself, like I already said, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I am a teacher, I am a mentor, teacher. We live in the country, we like country lifestyle. And so those are things that I lead with. And you don't have to share fitness as much as you think you should. And just kind of let that sink in. Like, yes, I'm a health and fitness coach and I have something to offer, but I don't post health and fitness every single post because you're not going to be able to build relationships or gain trust or make connections with people if the only thing you're posting about is health and fitness, because that's who we're trying to attract, is the people who need support with that. And so we're not going to attract them if we're only posting about those things, if that makes sense. And so just off the top of your head, if you have like a notebook or a pencil, pen, whatever you're writing with, jot down like your 6 roles, or like 3 to 5 things that make you unique. I'll give you about like 20 seconds. And then while you're doing that, I'm gonna share my screen, but I am disabled from sharing my screen.
Now you should be able to.
There we go. I am
Yep.
now the host. Okay, so I'm gonna just go to mine, and in a minute, I'm gonna give you permission to pick up your phone and pull up your Instagram or your social media. But this was a little bit ago, but just pulling it up and looking and see what's in your top 9. And so you should be able to see those 6 roles in your top 9 at all times. Every time someone comes to your page, they should be able to get a good snapshot of who you are. And so, like I said, I'm a mom. There's Wyatt in the garden, digging around. I'm a wife. I got lots of pictures, not lots, I guess. I have 2 pictures of Dan. Um, I do offer fitness. So like here's a picture working out. And then one of my requirements is having a side by side. So every 9 photos, I will have at least a side by side of some kind to show that I am on a journey and I have a transformation. And then that way they know that I'm here to help. So I don't have anything like teacher-ish on here right now, and I am a teacher, but I don't lead with being a teacher. But that's something that I connect with other people about. But here's just like another motivational, like setting goals. I kind of forget what this one was, but being able to have all of those things. Oh, showing my faith. Having all of those things in your top 9 at all times. So go ahead, if you haven't yet, pick up your phone, log into your Instagram or pull up your Instagram and just see if you have a good mixture. Maybe you are posting your 6 roles, but maybe you're posting one of them like too much, or like I wouldn't want all of these to be pictures of Wyatt, or I wouldn't want all of these to be pictures of Dan. So just kind of like do a little self audit and see what yours looks like and if you have a good mixture of what you're posting about. And yes, the top 9 is like the first 9 pictures that they see. And so go ahead and just drop in the chat. I don't know if we like rate yourselves from 1 being you not sharing your roles at all to 10 that you have all of your roles in your top 9. And this is probably something that I do like every couple of days. And then as I'm planning out my posts, or if I have my post in my notes section, as I'm planning those out, then I can say, okay, which post am I needing? What am I lacking? Going back and looking at my top 9. But really quick, the last thing that I had was when I was talking about time management. And so I'm going to share my screen one more time. I started implementing time blocking. Oh, how do I get this? There it is. Whoop. There it is. I started implementing time blocking. And so this is a tool that I use. And so the first thing I do is I hash out the times that I need to be available. So like this morning I was on a Fit and Fearless call. I make sure to try to get outside at least 1 time a day with the kids. Lunchtime, quiet time. Wyatt had his last school Zoom, working out when Dan got home, and then being able to help present here tonight. And so when Kara was talking about brain dumping, this is something that I do every single day also. And so like she said, you have to prioritize those things. And so I put my focus 3. So like the top 3 things I put for things that I want to get done today, those go up here. And those are the things that I do first. And then the rest of my to-do list, like this is an assignment for school. I got to go back and reschedule week 1 in my bod group because it disappeared, but that's okay. But then if there's something that I didn't get to, then it's there. And then the next day I'm just going to start a new one. And then I carry it over to my next day. And so these down here are not like really prioritized. These are the ones that I know that I need to get done first, but I will put like everything on here, like whether it's bills or I need to mail something, or like today I needed to catch up on the dishes, just things like that. This is the tool that I use. And if you go, I have one similar to that. That one I didn't create. but because the one that I created is in my Instagram link, it's okay. I wish I created that. If you go to my Instagram link, there is one in there called Daily Planner that you could use. But this one lets me scroll, and I found it on Etsy. So if you just type in like digital planning on Etsy, I'm sure you can find something like that. But other than that, I think I'm done.
So good. That's why you're the anchor, because you always have tangible tools to share for anybody at whatever point of journey they're in. And this is how well-rounded we are, because I like to talk and she likes to give tools. So that makes us very well-rounded. I just want to give a last shout out to all of you guys for hopping on these calls. I'm sure Julianne will attest that she showed up when nobody else did. I showed up when nobody else did. Kristen did too. And so your team of one starts with you. And so what I'm just going to leave you with is that obviously success is not a straight line, and you need to show up as the person you're going to be 5 years from now. Like we said on Saturday, give yourself, my 2-year-old just got up. Awesome. You need to be able to give this 4 years as a college degree. Give it time, give it focus. Like with anything, there's going to be hardships that goes with it. But the best thing is I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have this type of support in college. I had the people pulling me away from classes, trying to get me to do dumb things and stay out late. I didn't have people that made me want to lean in to be a better person. So with that being said, I'm super excited for where we're going. And I think we'll be back on this call as we are encouraging more leaders to rise up and share their story. And so, yeah, I just can't be more prouder.